All right, welcome back to episode 2. 3.
Wow.
Already messed up. Of season 2.
There we go. It's season 2, episode 3.
Thoughts of the Roundtable. My name is Paul Laux, as we remember from last time we had the digest.
No, don't call me out.
And Matt Rabar.
Matt Rebar here, reporting for duty and ready to just misspell everyone's names today. So
You mean mispronounce.
do
It's
both.
podcast.
I'm going to do
No one
both.
can-
Well, I'm going to spell wrong, and I'm going to say it wrong. So it's perfect.
Before we start off getting any of our stories, I do want to say one thing. Doing our podcast, I've been starting to look at other podcasts to see what's out there. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's amazing, to see what is out there. And for some reason, it was 2 a.m. last week. This really happened. And I was going to the bathroom. I was I wonder if prisoners make podcasts.
Yes.
I found one.
They do.
Legitimately they make podcasts. And these are people who murdered people.
And they're just talking about prison or why they murdered? Is it a whole collection?
No, it's about prison life.
Oh, see, that could be cool, but I really want to hear, why did you do the crime you did?
See, they go in a little bit of that, but mostly it's just here's what my cellmate's like.
It's paid subscribers only get to listen to why we committed murder.
Man. All right, that's just what I wanted to start off with. So, how are you today?
I'm doing good. The last 3 weeks have been just busy. And I have a policy. It's where really, I can only do 3 busy weeks in a row before, I need a chill week.
Yeah. Is this a need to chill week?
This is just a chill week. And what's funny is my chill week is probably most people's busy week. Mm-hmm. But since it's me and I'm psycho, sweet but psycho, clearly.
That would be a good album.
What?
That album title, Sweet But Psycho?
After the song, Sweet by Psycho?
Wait, is that a real song?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I don't want to sing it because of copyright.
Whose song is it?
Well, it's a one-hit wonder right now. It's
Who
this
is
girl,
it?
Ava Max, but...
Ava Max.
I'll play it for you. Yeah, I don't want to play anything on this show because
We'll probably get canned.
We will get...
Or fined. Or
fined and...
Out the butt.
Curb stomped, so...
They come... what is the...
They're
ass cap comes to your
listen.
house and just curb stomps you?
They're listen, it's the podcast police, and you can't play Sweet but Psycho on your podcast.
I wish we could be the podcast police.
Dude, I feel like the uniforms would look so good. There's a little mic on the lapel.
They'd be mesh.
Oh, with boots. Can there be boots? I love a good door kicking boot. Just whatcha?
Oh, okay. All right. So why don't we just roll right into it, right?
Yeah, because otherwise I think the podcast police will be too much chatter.
Oh, by the way, an update from last week. I'm not arrested.
Shoot. Oh, yeah.
So no one ever called my house. I was never called by car rental company again.
So quick summary. Paul rented a truck and U-Haul, frick it, whatever. I don't care. If we forget that we said U-Haul, then... Okay, I said it twice. I'm terrible. Last week, if you missed it, Paul was using a rental truck, and the rental truck company said, Paul, listen, you hit some civilians. And Paul was like, I don't think I did, but maybe I did. Long story made short, there was no civilians. Nothing was ever reported to police.
Someone snitched on me for something I didn't do.
That serves you right for cutting into traffic,
right.
I feel.
I didn't cut into traffic.
That's what happens when you take a left turn in a no left turn lane.
I didn't do that either.
Oh, okay.
I was just sitting there.
I'm watching.
But anyways,
you.
I'm not arrested.
I'm ready to call the rental truck company again. I'm gonna get you.
The police have never contacted me again, so I guess I'm in the clear. I should be on that show. Almost Got Away with It.
Oh my gosh. In another dimension.
Sorry.
In another dimension, there's definitely a Paul who did run over 2 people.
If you believe in infinite universes.
I kind of do. Just because it's fun to believe in that. So.
There's another universe then where this podcast actually makes money.
And there's another universe where we don't podcast
at all.
And another universe where I never met you. Another universe where
there's one where I killed you.
Oh, absolutely.
Or
you were
killed
this
me.
podcast sucks, and I'm gonna kill you because of it. Oh my god! And then the podcast police show up.
There you go.
And they arrest you.
All right, should we get into it? Who wants to go first this week, you or me?
I kind of like doing news and then advice because news feels more important.
All right, so not the news, my favorite thing to do ever and to research. There was a substitute tire who was fired. She was
a substitute tire?
Substitute teacher who was
I
fired.
was like, you mean a spare tire?
A spare tire. No, substitute teacher.
Okay, sub-teach.
And so she was fired. She was teaching a pre-K class, and she was fired because when she walked into the classroom, a whole bunch of bullets fell out of her pockets.
Bullets? Like gun bullets?
Live ammunition. Live bullets.
Jesus! Mm-hmm. Why is she packing? Is it because she's afraid of, like...
Apparently she went shooting and just... Forgot. But just walked into a class and just had a bunch of bullets just bing, bing, bing.
I mean... I can understand why you'd forget something in your pocket. Like, I forget everything in my pocket.
I feel like it's a really just unfortunate thing more than anything else.
But you know what? If you had bullets in your pocket, wouldn't you be a little bit more conscious?
I feel like if you have bullets in your pocket, I don't feel like that's a real safety measure. Even when you're at the gun range, you don't be like, hey, homie, can you just hand me some of those bullets in your pocket?
Just reach into my pocket and just finger yourself
22's
around.
in the left pocket. You know?
I got all sorts of bullets underneath my trench coat.
Would you have fired her?
I mean, here's the thing. I guess it depends on what the school policy is. Like, what's the school district say?
Do you have a policy on bullets coming out of your
weapons, right? Like, teachers
then there's no weapons in schools at all.
Exactly. And wouldn't that count as a weapon? I mean, even without the gun?
Yeah. Well, you can throw those things I don't know. I'm probably going to get hacked up for that. But can't you, throw those things on the ground and have them
Please tweet at Paul at Chops Radio. And let him know if he's wrong.
I actually had someone ride over a bullet with their bike, and it went off.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. See, so it depends on what the school policy says. Let's say the school policy didn't have anything about it. I think that's more of a suspension. I mean, but if
you're a sub, though. You're not...
Oh, is she a good sub? That's the question.
I don't know. I used to have a substitute at my high school who would just make fun of the city below us.
Oh, really?
And because I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit. I'm from Strongsville, and Brunswick is right below us, south of us, and they're the ones who are like hillbillies.
Yeah, it's Brunstucky.
And so a substitute was like, over in Brunswick, they're the ones who learn their ABCs in the 9th grade.
Oh,
and you
my
just
God.
Rip them to pieces.
R.I.P. I think I'd be the substitute that the kids at first hated, because I'd come in and I'd be like, we're gonna learn and we're gonna explore and I'm not going to put on a movie. We're going to do things. And they're like, we don't like you, Mr. Rebar. And then, a few weeks in, they're like, Mr. Rebar, you're the best sub I've ever had. And then, their original teacher's back from, their hiatus in Fiji or something. And they're like, no, we love our substitute teacher. Why can't he be our real teacher? And then there's, a whole scene at the PTA or something.
I wish that there could be tag team teachers. Can you imagine that?
Wait, you and me tag teaching a class?
Especially if it was like gym.
You'd be like, okay, you know what, kids? I think social studies is important, but today we're gonna talk about memes.
No, if we were band directors, co-band director. So I would be conducting the band or something. You'd just be choreographing.
Oh, I would. The visuals.
We're playing Chopin, and you're doing elbow throws.
I'm like, hello, my baby.
That's not Chopin.
Oh, I thought you meant showbiz.
I was like, Chopin did not have...
And that is why Paul and I work well together.
Oh, all right, so moving on. Another Florida story. I guess I can't avoid these.
You do love a good Florida story.
For some reason... I mean, you always hear in Florida about how alligators will just end up in pools because it's swamp country down there. Oh, yeah. But I guess now they're becoming super aggressive because they're all horny. Horny alligators.
Is it that time of the season?
I don't know. I guess.
Just play some funky music in the Everglades real quick.
But not only they're in your pool, but and then they want to bang you.
Oh.
Which I guess.
Well, would you rather be eaten or approached in a sexual manner by a crocodile? Or no, alligator. I'm sorry.
I guess I would have to go with the latter.
I feel like you're more likely to get out of there alive if the alligator just wants to mate with you versus eat you,
just
right?
Tinder.
But then you get molested by an alligator. I mean, it's a lose-lose.
You know what I heard are really aggressive actually are dolphins. People assume with dolphins, they will just start humping anything.
They will just climb up onto the raft or your boat. Yeah,
but that's not even a joke. For some reason, they're really aggressively horny.
Well, apparently they also
each
sexually assault
each other. Yeah,
each other. Yeah,
they do.
I don't want to say the rapists of the ocean, but apparently they're really nasty.
They can be really mean.
Because you see them. I mean, when I think of dolphins, I think of a cute dolphin, but apparently that is not the case.
I've only ever seen one off a cruise ship, and it bounced off our cruise ship. It jumped up.
Wait, did the ship hit it?
It kind of, I mean, the ship was a cruise ship, so it couldn't really turn real quick, and the thing just jumped out of the run. Boop, it was fine.
No.
He swam around. He's all right.
Sounds like a really bad Will Ferrell movie.
I heard cruise ships are also really bad for the environment. Now I feel really bad.
Yeah, but I don't know why, though.
Apparently they dump their trash. It was just like swimming in the ocean.
You know what? That's canceled. Cruises are canceled.
So I don't know if that's true.
I mean,
personally, I've never seen it.
Sounds very likely.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, would you be honestly that surprised?
We need to do what Sweden does. Sweden burns the trash. And actually, Sweden burns their trash so well that they're actually importing trash to burn in Sweden.
China did that too, but now that China won't buy our trash anymore. Fun fact. But they import trash to burn?
Yeah, they just burn it. Apparently that's the cleanest way.
Who's the country with that seed vault? Is that Norway?
The what? Oh, the seed vault.
You know what I'm talking about? The Doomsday seed vault.
It's like the seeds around the world of every plant that's ever been. Yeah. Gosh, it's like
I think it's one of those Norwegian countries.
It's a Norwegian. You know what? If anyone's doing something like that, it's a Norwegian country. Or let's be honest.
But ironically, I think climate change is actually hurting it for some reason.
Hurting the seeds?
Well, yeah, because it's like it's naturally insulated, obviously, because of all the snow up there. It's like way up in the Arctic.
Yeah, it has to be.
So now it's like
they got to get some climate control for that.
All right. Next one, my final one, rules of three.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So this person heard a noise coming from their house, coming from their bedroom, and the door was shut, and they heard like a lot of thumping. So they're like, oh shit, like someone broke into my house. So they called the police. The police show up with their guns and everything. Bust into the bedroom. It was just their Roomba that got stuck.
Oh my God.
Bouncing around in the bedroom.
Okay. I've never had a Roomba, so I can't relate to this experience, but like... Yeah, it would be scary if you hear like, or whatever.
Like hitting the walls. It's hitting the walls.
That's scary, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this goes back to the bullet lady. Like, aren't you conscious that like, oh, I have a Roomba? Or no? Are you that maybe like out of it or?
The only thing I get out of this is the fact that we don't have to worry about AI for a long time. Like AI taking over.
That Roomba was like, I need to go. I need a break. Like, Shannon, please let me out of here. Like, I just want a nice cup of tea with my cardigan. I've been
like
sweeping
Betsy,
the
I need
house
a charge
the whole day, and you've left me in here to work, and I just really want a pastry.
Aren't those things noisy too?
A Roomba? I don't know. If they're noisy. I think they just come with like a standard like.
I feel like those things would be so inefficient though.
Well, I mean, they're shaped like a circle. I feel like you can't get the corners, right?
Right. You know what's really dangerous that I saw the other day?
What?
Roomba lawnmowers. It's basically a Roomba lawnmower.
I don't like that.
No. I mean, just blades driving around. I mean...
Now that, if you wake up to and you hear... that... 911. 911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, what if that thing goes rogue? How do you stop it? It's just flinging blades everywhere.
Oh, gosh. Can you imagine, like, a whole neighborhood, like, evacuated because of a Roomba that's just, like, rapidly,
a rogue Roomba?
like, spinning across with blades? A Roomba. A blade-ba.
All right, that's enough of me.
Do you think they'll ever make killer Roombas?
I believe killer Roombas are the lawnmower ones.
Well, I mean, like protective Roombas.
I feel like those are drones.
Like they're...
That's a drone.
No, like when I'm like, okay, it's like, so you know, the Roomba, it's just going around the room cleaning. It's kind of like your guardian or whatever.
There's like follows you?
Yeah, well...
I'd rather have a Roomba follow me around and just play my theme music, like theme songs everywhere.
I would throw down money for that.
Oh, I saw this.
Like a personal security Roomba.
Speaking of drones, though.
Oh, yeah?
I saw Amazon they have this little blimp that has like a bunch of drones that deliver packages. And people were like shooting them down.
I saw that, and what made it scary was like it was very dystopian because you have this big blimp and these like little drones are like, wee, they're going in and out of the blimp, and it's like, what's going on? And I guess from the standpoint of like, okay, they're delivering packages, like makes sense, right? But like it just looks like something straight out of like Star Wars, Black Mirror, like. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I feel about it. I have mixed reviews on that.
No, I don't know how I feel about that either.
I mean, I'm all about hashtag bring the blimps back. Don't get me wrong.
That's our new shirt. Blimps for.
Our new shirt. You can. We'll have the website for bring the blimps back. We should make
shirts. Why don't we do that?
Because like one person would buy it.
And it'd be me.
I was gonna say me, but
then too.
Call in right now. Who would be more likely to buy the one shirt? Would it be Paul or Matt?
We should get a 216.
A text line.
All right, let's get to your advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I pulled 3 stories as well because I'm that kind of guy. Let's see.
It's only gonna take you forever to get them up.
Okay, so this one is from Ask a Manager, and she basically, I've mentioned her all the time. I love her. She gives advice about professional issues. So this question came in from a reader who said, how do you answer where do you see yourself in 5 years? She's like, I don't really know what I want for my career. I'm perfectly happy with what fulfills me, so I don't need necessarily advancement. But she says that when I'm in an interview...
That always comes up.
It comes up, and I don't know how to say it. So
it's like one of the last questions, too, which always sucks.
Well, to me, it's like, okay, where I'm at in 5 years doesn't really have anything to do with the job per se.
That's the thing I think I hate most about job interview questions is ones when they ask you that have no relevancy to the... Because all they're trying to do with that kind of question it's to trip you up.
You think? I think it's to suss out like how long you want to be in the position. But like to me, it's like
you kind of know though.
But if you say, okay, in 5 years I see myself in a higher position, then they're like, oh well, is this just a stepping stone? We want someone to like work in it. And then if you say I just want to be in a position I love, then they're like, well, she's not hardworking.
Right?
She doesn't
you
want
don't
to be
have any
the boss.
drive. Yeah.
So Allison from HR, interviewers who ask that question or similar ones are trying to get a sense of how the job fits in your longer-term plans and goals.
Oh, this is some bullshit. I don't like this.
She says, if it helps, you could think of it as, how does this job fit in with where you see your career going? So she kind of says what you should say, something probably along the lines of, what I really want is to stay in this field, building my skills, feeling regularly challenged, and doing work that's meaningful. I'm very open about what that path ultimately looks like, but I'm excited about this role because X. So... she's saying basically because you just kind of want a job that makes you happy, that you like.
Right.
It's totally fine saying I'm looking for a job that makes me happy and that I can fit comfortably, and I'm not looking to change the game or shake it up.
I think the thing that bothers me about this is that all of these are just, they don't get to anything. That doesn't answer anything. Like when I went in an interview, I wanted to know what makes them tick, what they like, what they want to do. I'd rather interview someone, ask what they would do with the position than be like, where, like, and because that answer, that was good, but it's just such a PC answer to a PC question. It doesn't do anything.
I agree. I mean, I think it's a bad question, and I think that in terms of how you have to respond to it, you just have to be careful, and that's a careful answer. Paul, I think you might like this next one.
Hold on, can I just pause for 1 second?
Absolutely.
Because that reminded me of Google's famous interviews. Have you ever heard of like Google's?
No.
Google's known to have the weirdest interview questions.
Oh, is it stuff like, are you afraid of doorknobs? Because that's what they ask you when you become a priest.
Here, really?
Yeah, they have like a lot of questions about like phobias and stuff. Apparently.
Why?
I don't know.
Doorknobs?
I never tried to become a priest. It was funny when I was younger. I think someone in the parish, back when I was a little bit more involved in the parish, they were like, "Oh, you'd be a great priest." And I was like, "No." And then when I became as part of the choir,
as auto-tune, you auto-tune the entire choir.
It's like a little organ in the background. No. But no, I mean, when I became older, and I totally respect people who decide to go through with priesthood or becoming a nun, etc. It just was one of those things where I'm very spiritual, but I'm not the person that... I feel like I live a good moral life in a lot of ways, but, I'm not that stringent. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, you said you were going to give up Smarties for Lent, and here you are, cooked out on sugar. Like, I can't be that figure, but... Anyway, what were you saying?
We can go into the religion talk. It's not that hard.
I mean,
we'll save that for another time.
That's season 3 right there. So Google interviews.
All
Tell
right,
me.
here's one of the questions. What does being googly mean to you?
Being googly?
Yeah.
I think of it as almost as though... You know what I think of? The word ogle, like when you ogle someone.
You mean oogle?
Yeah. Did I say ogle?
Yeah, I mean when you're oogly, you got the oogly eyes?
Yeah, like you're like that's what googly feels like, right? I don't know. What's googly to you, Paul?
I don't know. I don't care. I'm never going to work for Google.
Meanwhile, 5 years later, you're like, hi, I'm applying for the Google position. And they're like, remember that time in the podcast that you did with your skanky friend when you said you would never work for Google? And you'll be like, oh. And they'll be like, you would just be like, I'll see myself out.
Name a prank you would pull on your manager if you were hired.
Ooh.
What
would you do? Yeah.
Well, I think I would have to go to... Do you know who Andrew WK is? He's the the singer of the party. It's time to party. Basically, all songs are about partying.
Oh, okay.
The crazy rocker.
Okay.
Always wears white, all white and everything.
Yeah, the definitions aren't helping, but I can see it. I have a picture.
Well, I heard him in an interview, and so I'm taking this from him, but it was probably one of the greatest pranks I've ever seen.
Okay.
He was talking about how he worked in a record store, and he was like a teenager, and he was just dicking around, and he realized that if you took that Laffy Taffy, what is that, Tootsie Rolls.
Okay.
And you chew them up just a little bit, and you can like mend them. And so he got a whole bunch together, and he made it look like a turd, and he put it in the toilet, and then he called his manager in to show his manager. And so when his manager showed it, he pulled into the toilet, pulled it out of the water, and just ate it. And he was like, I thought my manager was having an out-of-body experience watching me do this.
That, I mean, is so nasty. But wow, good for him. I mean, the thing is, it's in the toilet water.
It's just water.
It's still in the toilet, though.
We gotta live a little.
I mean, I agree. Live a little, but that's a little too much.
All right, enough derail from me.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Paul, second one. I think this actually, you would relate to this maybe. So this is Dear Abby. Dear Abby, basically, she said, in the last presidential election, I had a friend who voted differently than I did. And we didn't persuade each other, but I did share some opinions on some controversial things on social media. She took these opinions as a personal attack and that she stepped out of my life without warning. I've tried contacting her. This is a 20-year friendship. They're both in their mid-30s. And so she's tried reaching out to this friend, but this friend doesn't want anything to do with her. She's like, I don't want to lose this friendship, but do I quit? Do I keep trying? Well, and here's what Abby says, which frankly, Abby, I need you to step up. No, like seriously.
Can I give my idea first, though?
Okay, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I think they're both in the wrong. One is, she absolutely posted that on there to start shit on social media. That's why people do that.
I mean, yeah.
You can't say, I didn't mean... No, you knew what you were doing. Don't be a lie. You knew what you're doing. But on the other hand, the other person's like, just let it go. What do you got to be ending a 20-year friendship for? Just be like, you know what? You're a dumbass. Just let it go. Forget it.
Well, here's what Abby says. She says, what happened is unfortunate. Because not one of your overtures has been accepted. Okay.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, just a little too poetic. Calm down, Abby. She says, step back and stop trying for a while. After the next election, cooler heads may prevail, and she may be more receptive. That's all. That's all Abby says.
That doesn't mean anything. So you gotta wait 4 years then for the next one?
Abby's like, okay, we're gonna take a roll of the dice in 2020. I think here's the issue. That we're missing something. Like, there's something about what she posted and her friend's value. Like, she must have posted something a little, like,
it must
too
have been,
much.
Like, crazy.
It must have been, like, an extreme, whether it was left or right or down center. Something extreme was posted. That a 20-year friendship. I mean, I have friends on the other side of the aisle who I think are idiots mostly, but I'm never not going to be friends with them. I mean, to me, it's different if you have a political opinion versus outright, hate or
right,
just pure blindness to an issue, or if you're a pure party, and you just say, I don't care, I really don't care what the details are. I'm just like, it's not a sports team. Like, it's not like, to me, it's like, okay, go try. We're in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, in this case, though, Abby, you really missed the mark. I think we're missing
She didn't
details.
even shoot. That was the most worthless answer I've ever heard in my life.
They were like, Abby, take the shot, girl. And she's like, I got you. And she tries to get that 3, and she just turns a rock and just walks out of the arena. That's what happened.
Auto-tune, no. That's all she did.
So, I don't know. That, to me, was disappointing, but... I mean,
that was terrible advice.
I think we're missing
4
something.
Years. Basically said wait 4 years.
20-year friendships down the drain because of something you posted. Dude,
get off social media. Retire that.
And this third one and this last one, Paul, this one's a little juicy. I'll read you the title.
Other ones weren't?
I want to stay friends with my daughter's very nice ex-boyfriend.
I've actually ran into this situation before.
You know what's funny? This is not that rare. This is
actually more common than you'd imagine.
Like, if this was a Pokemon card, I would say slightly rare.
Are you friends with any of your ex's parents?
Oh my god, no.
I am.
Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But like friends or like friends?
They'll comment on stuff on Facebook.
Okay, well that's different.
That. Just like,
let me read you this.
Just I should friendly.
Friendly is different from friends.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. My college-age daughter dated a very nice college-age guy for a year. He and I became close. His mother died about a year before, and I was a nurturing mother figure for him. They recently broke up.
Oh, so we're adding really heavy stuff into this. I thought it was just like,
oh,
he's
no,
a nice guy.
My daughter thinks I should be her mom and not his, and I need to cut him off. I don't think there's some absolute, do I need to cut ties with this young man, or do I need to explain to my daughter that I can pick my own friends? So Carolyn kind of goes in. Unlike Abby's last response, which was 2 sentences, Carolyn's like, well, listen, you're her mom. I mean, you need to be thinking about, like, what is really going down here? She's like, imagine that one of his successes was that something your daughter expressed doubts about when they were together, Or maybe it's like this subtle adult version of like, your mom thinks I can do this. Your mom supports me and like you don't, or maybe it's an issue with his, like, he's not ready to let the ex-girlfriend go. So he's using the mom and there's like boundaries. And she goes, what your daughter is telling you is that hanging on to this role of being friends is undercutting your primary role as a mother. And it's like, you need to ask her, but you need to think about what health and emotional consequences come with your right to, quote, pick my own friends. And I agree. I mean, listen, if I dated someone who was really nice and got along with my family, that's beautiful, right? Like, that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
You're just nodding a lot. I feel like I'm like overwhelming you, and I apologize.
No, because I think the daughter's right.
Yeah, I agree.
I do. I think the daughter's right.
But can you imagine...
In this case, if they were just like friendly, like what I said earlier, like a couple of my ex-parents, you just like, every once in a while they'll like comment on stuff. That's not that big of a deal. Like, whatever. Like this is a little bit more heavy-handed.
The parents just need to get... Okay, it's like, is it a shame that it ended? Maybe, maybe not. But
plus,
it's like,
why did it end? We never went into that. I mean,
it's college, so it could be anything.
But you never know. Like it could be.
You studied with Michelle.
Yeah, I get that, but it could legitimately be something worse.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's not telling her mom.
Yeah,
and it's like, hey, he's a creep, or he's this,
or he's just a douche,
and he's a bad person. Yeah. And no offense, it's nice that you feel like people need you to mother them, or I'm not gonna make this a gender thing. If you're a guy and you feel like a father figure to someone, that's great, excellent. But in this case, you're wanting to, be a shelter parent or like a foster parent, and your own child's like, listen, that's my ex-boyfriend.
All the mother's doing is like kind of like filling a void in her own self with.
I agree. So it's like, get out there and do meaningful work, find opportunities that fill this part of what you're missing from your life or what you want more of out of your life. The ex-boyfriend is just not an option.
Yeah. Chill out with that.
So, what do you think Abby would have said to that? Well, that's a shame. Maybe in 2020...
She would have put LOL.
Can you imagine if hey, so what do you think? LOL. And that's all you get for your advice.
So, wrapping this up, what do you got coming up in your life? Let's end every episode from now.
Well, let's see. I have... been working hard around the clock on a secret project coming in June that I'm excited for.
I actually know what the project is.
And you do, and I gotta tell you a little bit more about it after this coming up. Except not with you guys. I apologize. And then I have a date on Thursday.
Nice.
But here's
First
the
date,
thing.
second date, third date?
First date. Oh my gosh, and I don't want this to go on too long, but I'm worried about like something that shouldn't be a deal breaker, but might be a deal breaker. Is it? Oh gosh, I hope he doesn't listen. I didn't give him the link.
Salacious.
He finds out before the date. I think so far he's really nice. We've been talking for a few days. It's just like a lot of piercings. Just like a lot of piercings.
What kind?
Like cheek and
Are we talking about those little ones that like stick out?
Yeah.
Those are nasty. I don't like those.
Well, I'm all about like...
Just snake bites?
Like, no, not snake bites.
That's what they're called.
Is that really called snake
bites? They're called snake bites, the 2 dots.
Oh my god, people actually learned something 28 minutes in. And they're like, oh, snake bites. I'm all about like the punk look. It's just, this sounds so bad. Like, this is what I need to Dear Abby. It's just like, I need someone who is like all around like a pitch hitter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here's my friends. Here's my work colleagues. Here's my family.
And that's a niche boyfriend right there.
That is like...
How many piercings are we talking about, though?
Oh, I don't even know, dude. I haven't counted.
Take a guess. Just give me a rank.
8?
Okay. I mean, that's a lot, but that is lower than I thought, the way you were hyping it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
The only bad thing about those little cheek ones is that those aren't removable.
Really?
No, those are permanent.
But they're in your cheek.
Yeah, they're surgically implanted in your cheek.
Oh my gosh, well...
So you got to get surgery to cut them out.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, one of my new goals is just to go on dates and meet people. And not even have it be a pressure of like, I like you, I don't like you. And just, you never know.
You never
know.
I
could meet someone who I'm like, I don't think this is going to be a relationship or whatever. And they're like, I work at a marketing place for podcasts. And you and Paul are great. And then I'm like, excellent. Worth a date. but
I'll buy you dinner for Shoot Our Podcast number 2.
Listen, push it up the ranks, get us to top 40, and you're going on an all-expense trip to
What
Mexico.
if we landed in a really weird, like R&B charts? For some reason, our podcast landed in there.
Or like, what if we had one city that had an obsession with us? Like Alberta was like, oh, bring them on tour.
Portland, Maine.
Augusta.
You know what we should do? Not like this isn't even a joke.
Yeah, shoot.
Because you really like to write. What if we wrote a book, like a joint book, and then we went on tour with that?
I love it.
And did podcasts live on tour.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Maybe season 4.
Yeah. Season 4. Oh my gosh, can't wait for that season 4. But what are you up to? What are you doing?
My life is a lot different than yours, and it's really weird because today the thrill of my life was buying a dishwasher.
Oh, that's so responsible. You know, if I
feel lame that way.
If our lives were like tempos, yours would be like
that baby making
just
tempo.
Like chill, and mine would be like the whole club is just like cracking.
Oh my god. Yeah, probably.
But no. But hey, dishwasher's all good.
Right, you know? I don't have to wash them.
I know. Meanwhile, I buy all my food like prepackaged, which is probably terrible. But
all right, I'm done.
Okay, well I'm done too. So we'll see you next time on
Thoughts of the Round
Table.
Bye.
Bye.